Hey, namaste. So, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. It's 7 o'clock Eastern time, my time, and I know some of you may be out in California or on the West Coast. And just go ahead and put in the chat that you can hear me, say hi, because when you're doing these lives, you guys, it's like you're talking to yourself. Like I see a picture of myself in front of me. So it's very weird. So at least say hello, say where you're tuning in from. I would really appreciate that. And this video, for those of you who are watching later, because many more people will see it on the replay, just know that I will put timestamps so that if you want to jump to certain parts, you'll be able to. But welcome to those of you who are live. I think it's I just think it's a wonderful experience live. So the topic is Metta, loving kindness for ourselves and for the world. So yes, hi. Hi, Francis. How interesting you're from the Bronx. That's where I grew up from my early teens, like preteens, I would say. So hello to the Bronx. Hello, Shauna. Hi, tuning in from Virginia. Great. Kansas City. Yes. Hi, Danielle. I remember your name because your spelling is unusual from before. So yes, welcome. And I am going to start relatively quickly because again, I want this to be super helpful for folks who watch it, who aren't live. So if you watch any other YouTube lives, you know, they typically spend like 10 minutes greeting everybody and just chatting. I really want to keep it relatively short, that intro piece, okay? So that you or anyone else can come back and be able to just jump right in, okay? So I'm gonna wait like one more minute. I've got everything. I got tissues in case I have a sneezing fit. For lives, you really have to be very prepared, you guys. I got my water, lemon water, lights are all set up. So what I invite you to do is actually get really comfortable. So wherever you're watching this, if you're watching me on your cell phone, can you put the cell phone down and just prop it up so you can see me and where you can hear me, okay? And honestly, you don't have to really see me. We'll be doing this practice together live, and I'm gonna explain in just a minute what Metta is, okay? So I just wanna give time for a few more folks to arrive, so bear with me. Get a cup of tea maybe, get some water, and get comfortable, okay? So I'm gonna give you some time to do that. And those of you who saw my last video, I did a review of, I think it's Silent Mind or Quiet Mind. Yeah, Silent Mind singing bowl. And you can check that video out. So I'm going to start us with that. So again, make yourself comfortable. I don't want you to be sitting holding the phone if you don't have to, okay? Because we are going to be doing this practice together live, and it's to benefit us and the world. And you guys, I think I will be doing this the following Sunday as well. So I'm going to do this regularly for some weeks. Yes, great. Yep, good. You can hear me. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's start. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, but breathe out through your mouth. Do that 3 times. Okay, deep breath in through the nose, but breathe out through the mouth and drag out that breath, that exhalation. And so just feel that as you breathe out, you're letting go completely. You're letting go of any stress, any worries. Okay, do that a couple more times. Welcome, welcome, welcome to those of you joining us. Wherever you are in the world, in the United States, Canada, I have some viewers from South Africa, from pretty much around the world. So welcome. you know that there's just a lot going on. There is a tremendous amount of pressure that many of us are feeling. Um, some communities, of course, more than others. I think it's important to say that. And yet, I want to also honor the people who are, um, being very supportive around the world to what is happening here in the U.S. in terms of protests and sort of anti-racism, this movement that's happening. And it's interesting to see it sort of go out around the world, as well as dealing with a virus that has an unknown quality to it. There's a lot of uncertainty there. It's both happenings, along with many others, are creating a real feeling of unrest and chaos and fear, especially for many, many people, no matter where they are in the spectrum of beliefs or whatever. So there's a lot of fear out there, and so that's why I wanted to do this metta. So I'm going to say a little bit about what metta is, and then we'll jump into the practice. Okay? And the next weekend, when I promise to do it again, I will lead it in a slightly different way so you get experience of the different ways of doing this practice. So what is metta? It's Metta. So metta means loving kindness. That's the translation of it. So it's not like a practice to get like romantic love. The loving kindness is trying to encompass that feeling of almost like brotherly love, you guys, or like sisterly love, like love for and we'll go through it, like for all beings. Okay, so metta is loving kindness. It does come from the Buddhist tradition, but it is not religious. And you'll see as we go through it, it basically, and you're welcome to also just do prayer, because what I really want to do is bring us all together. We're very powerful. It's like a prayer circle, basically, and we're going to emanate out these good and positive and loving feelings. And as I'm talking, my cat is starting to scratch some furniture. Cat lovers, give me a thumbs up in the... Okay, I think he's done for now. So we will be practicing it. And so I said for ourselves. Now, metta is typically done, you guys, through a series of stages. Typically, metta is taught with, you start with yourself, then you go to they call a benefactor. Okay, so forgive the formal language, but a benefactor just means someone who you unconditionally feel good about. Someone who has been, so like it might be like a grandmother, like the ideal grandmother or grandpa, someone who was so good to you that you just love them. Okay, so typically metta is ourselves, then we go to the benefactor, then we go to the friend, okay, and then we go to like a neutral person. Okay, we're not going to do all of that today. Okay, so don't panic. I don't want to lose any of you. We're not going to go through all. The way I'm going to do it with you today is we're going to do ourselves. We're going to do loving kindness for ourselves, right? Because as I said, there's a lot of fear going on. There's a lot of anger. There's just a lot, and there's a lot of unknown, right? We don't know how things are going to play out. So we're going to do that for ourselves. We're going to give that loving kindness to ourselves. So I'm so glad you're here for that. And then equally important, we're going to do the rest of the world. So everybody, okay? So we're going to skip the stages. I just felt, and Spirit moved me, that it's just easier to do it this way because we're going to cover everybody anyway, right? This way. We do ourselves and we do the world. All right. So what I'll be doing is repeating a series of phrases to you, very simple phrases. And what you want to do is center in your heart, sort of just tune in to your heart. Okay, and I'm placing in the middle because it's sort of the heart center, right? Not the physical heart, but it emanates out, of course, through the center of the chest. So like the heart energy center. Okay, if you'd like to now, as you're listening to me, maybe put your hand right in here in the center. So I'll be repeating some really simple phrases. They may sound a little bit formal, okay? Don't let that throw you off. If you want to change them and you're able to do that quickly, you can, okay? But I'm going to give you the classical phrases. And what I'd like you to do is repeat it to yourself quietly. You're just repeating it to yourself. Okay? So yes, it's repetitive, but it's basically to almost like soften up your heart. So if like me, I've had a lot of anger, a lot of things you see in the news going on, like I said, a lot of fear, I'm having that as well. And so this is like an antidote. This is like taking a medicine, literally, that would be the metaphor. It's like taking a medicine to clear that out and leave us at a higher vibration. You can still take action, but you won't be creating suffering for yourself. Okay? Give me a thumbs up if you're following what I'm saying. So this practice is not to stop anyone from doing action. And I mean that, like if you're protesting or whatever you're doing, right? Or you're not protesting, you're doing different things. This is still going to leave you feeling clear, clean, not agitated, because as all of you know, and we know this in our heart, anger can be very motivating, right? And fear tends to be demotivating. But what we want is a place of balance. We want equanimity. Equanimity means peace inside. So we want to be able to act from a place of peace, okay? And that's very, very challenging. And that's why we do this practice of metta. So welcome to the person who just joined us. There are 11 of us gathered. We're from all over the US. So welcome again to those joining now live. So I'm going to just start repeating these phrases. I asked you to get comfortable, and let's just dive in. It may help right now for you to bring a picture of yourself as a child to your mind. This is for those of us, and I close my eyes because I'm going inside, and I would like for you to do that as well. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. Okay? Just listen to my voice. So for those of us that this practice is difficult, and it can be, picture yourself as a little child. So I can see myself as a little girl. I used to wear like, you know how, especially back in the day, moms would like, the hair would be braided or twisted. It'd be like a twist. And I'd have those little ball things, those little like ball hair ties. And I just have all these like hair here, so I can kind of see myself. So guys, girls, whatever, picture yourself as a small child if you need to. The first phrase is, may I be well. So may I be well. We're not asking it as a question. It's almost like you are doing a blessing to yourself. So it's like, that's how, even though it sounds very formal, may I be well. So you're saying that to yourself. May I be well. So just repeat that to yourself. May I be happy and peaceful. So repeating that to yourself. May I be happy and peaceful. And now it's the feeling that's more important than even the words. So you just like it's like you're pouring love on yourself, like you were a plant and you're watering yourself with love. So that's the most important thing, is the feeling. So again, the first phrase is, may I be well. May I be happy and peaceful. May I live with ease of heart and mind. May I live with ease of heart and mind. So heart and mind, okay? And then the final phrase is going to sound a little odd, but it's the classical way it's said is, may I be free from suffering. May I be free from suffering. You could maybe say, may I be free from pain, or may I be free from discomfort. But in the classical way it's taught, it's like all suffering, all pain. So they use the word suffering. I know it sounds very strong. And I know you might say, well, I'm not really suffering, right? When we think of suffering, we think of like somebody's being tortured or being, beaten, or like a child being hit. But think of it as a little bit more like just the discomfort and the pain that we encounter in daily life, okay? So again, I want to keep us in the meditation, so I'm not going to explain so much. Feel free to change that phrase if you need to. And we begin again. May I be well. Repeat that to yourself. May I be happy and peaceful. May I live with ease of heart and mind. May I be free from suffering. And again, for those of you just joining, you could picture yourself as a small child where it's easy for you to feel compassion and love for yourself. Because again, this can actually be very challenging. This can be very challenging to send love to yourself. So it's love and compassion. So it's sort of just the way that, as I mentioned, maybe an ideal loving parent would feel towards their child. Love, compassion, caring. So let's go again. May I be well, wishing yourself well, seeing yourself. If it helps, picture yourself in a happy moment. For me, sometimes I find if I can see myself doing something that makes me happy as I'm saying the phrase, so may I be well, may I be happy and peaceful. So see yourself doing something that brings that feeling, if that works for you. May I live with ease of heart and mind. May I live with ease of heart and mind. May I be free from suffering. Again, you could change that to may I be free from pain, or may I be free from discomfort, or may I be free from strife. Anything like that. Anything like that. So I'm going to go quiet for just a minute and just repeat the phrases as you remember them to yourself. Okay, we'll do this together. So really trying to feel that, generating feelings of love, compassion, and kindness for yourself. And you might feel a subtle shift in your energy, but I also just want you to know, don't judge yourself if you are not able, if you don't feel able to generate this feeling, okay? This might be new to you. This is not something we're taught in school. So it takes practice, and that's why we call meditation a practice. It's not something you just do once and it's perfect. It's a practice, okay? So I'm going to say the phrases again because more people have joined us. So we're sending loving kindness or metta to ourselves. And what you're trying to do is generate the feeling. It's not so much the phrases. So don't get caught on the phrases if they don't work for you. The first phrase is, may I be well. So well in all ways, health, love, happiness, all of that. May I be well. So the word well is in always. Take it very broadly. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be happy and peaceful. And again, if you're more visual, just see yourself. If there's something you love to do, like if you love to garden, or you love to go for a bike ride, just see yourself doing that as you say the phrase, and see yourself joyful, see yourself peaceful. May I live with ease of heart and mind. May I live with ease of heart and mind. And the final one is very broad. May I be free from suffering. May I be free from suffering. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to go in silence, and you just repeat phrases that work for you to yourself. Okay, now, beautiful one. Welcome to those who are just joining us. So now we're going to send this metta, this loving kindness out to the world, okay? There are at least 2 really beautiful ways to do this. So again, I'm going to do it one way this time. Next weekend, I'm going to do this again, and I will do it a different way, okay? So let me just sort of center again. So we're going to, now that we've generated some feeling of love and compassion for ourselves, let's send it out to all beings. So the way I'm going to do it this time, okay, is I'd like you to now, all of you with me here, picture your town. Someone said they're from the Bronx. Someone else is from Missouri. Picture just your town, okay? And we're going to do it bit by bit, and it's really beautiful. Don't worry if you cannot visualize. It's okay. You can just think it. So now I'm thinking of my town where I live. I'm just sort of, what I do, you guys, is I sort of see like I'm looking at a map. I just have a general feeling of my area, like I was up in a balloon. Okay, so please do that with me. Just try to picture your town. Don't get hung up on it. Just do your best and say to yourself, may all the beings in my town be well. May all the beings in my town be well. May all the beings in my town be well. And I'm using the word beings for a reason. When we say beings, I'd like you to, that includes human beings, that includes animals, that includes plants, okay? All living beings, all sentient beings, all beings that are alive. So in your town, emanating from you like a light, we'll do it again. May all beings in my town, in my area, be well. May they be happy and peaceful. May they live with ease of heart and mind. May they be free from suffering. And again, you might want to picture that this is emanating, this love and compassion, like rays of light, like rays of love, is coming off of you and radiating out, like you are literally a sun radiating that out. Now let's expand it out to your state. So again, I picture a map. And again, you don't have to know the shape of your state. That's okay. I just basically pull up a little higher and I sort of broaden it out. My intention is to broaden it out to a bigger area. May all the beings in my state be well. May they be happy and peaceful. And so just repeat this to yourself. May they live with ease of heart and mind. May they be free from suffering. And now picture this sort of rays of love going out bigger to your region. I'm in the Northeast. So I literally just kind of picture the northeastern section of the US. May all beings, and again, just picture as far as you are, be well. May they be happy. May they be peaceful. May they live with ease of heart and mind. May all beings in this area be free from suffering. And now, if you're in the US or whatever country you're in watching this, please go ahead and see your entire country, again, being filled with this metta. So may the entire nation be well. And if you'd like to, dear ones, go ahead and picture, because I'm very visual, I actually picture different types of people. Like if I weren't leading you, if I were just doing this myself, I literally see a flash of all different types of people. And I often picture them eating. So when I picture, may all beings be well, I picture a bunch of different types of people, like a film. I just see it really fast. So in your nation, wherever country you're in right now watching this, just picture your nation and say, may all beings be well. May they be happy and peaceful. May they live with ease of heart and mind. So I'm sort of just literally seeing the United States vaguely, as clearly as I can, but just the sense of the entire nation. May they be free from suffering. Now let's expand it to the entire globe. Those of you just joining me, so you could picture the Earth or just think of it. If you cannot picture the entire planet Earth, just think or desire that this is going out to all beings on the planet. Okay? And repeat after me in the silence. May all beings on the planet be well. And try to feel it. So I'm going to give you a little time. You're feeling that. You're generating from your heart. The heart is a generator of love and compassion, an evolved being. And if you're watching this, you are evolving. The heart is able to generate love and compassion for the entire planet. All beings, may they be well. May they be happy and peaceful. May all beings on the planet live with ease of heart and mind. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be free from suffering. So as you continue, do your best, whether just thinking it or feeling it, that you're sending this feeling of love and compassion and kindness to all beings. It helps me. I quickly picture people from all around the world. I literally just almost picture one person in each country, and I just sort of, the types of people that pop out to me, and then I see them, and I often see them eating. And I invite you to try that, because when we're eating, we're being nourished, they're safe, they're well. So may all beings on the planet be well. May they be happy and peaceful. May they live with ease of heart and mind. May they be free from suffering. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And just hearing my words, and you could repeat them, continuing on. Just as I know that I wish to be happy and peaceful, so do all beings wish to be happy and peaceful. As I wish for myself to be happy, to be peaceful, to be free from suffering, so I understand that all beings, also their deepest wish underneath any behavior, is a wish to be happy and to be free from suffering. So as I send to myself, equally, I know that all beings wish to be free, wish to be happy, to be well, to be free from suffering. And to close our practice, I'm going to repeat a phrase that encompasses all of this feeling. May all beings, again, humans, animal life, plant life, any beings that we're not even able to see, may all beings, whether far or near, visible to me or invisible to me, in whatever realm of existence, born or unborn. And with that, I actually usually picture a woman pregnant. So whether born or unborn, visible or invisible, near or far, may all beings, without exception, be well, be happy, and peaceful. And now let's literally even send that out from the earth to the entire universe. May all beings everywhere, without exception, be well, happy, peaceful, free from suffering. Taking a nice deep breath, hold the breath in. Letting go any stress, any tension, letting go of the practice. And then it's always good to close by coming back to yourself, and just one final time, perhaps touching your heart center or your belly and say, may I be well, may I be happy and peaceful, may I live with ease of heart and mind, may I be free from suffering. So bringing it back to yourself. And so I just want to thank you so much for participating in this practice. And now I will take some time to answer any questions. As I was leading the practice, questions were popping into my mind. I am intuitive. And so if you have any questions now, please go ahead and type them in the chat. And I didn't want to start by talking too much at the beginning, because again, folks are going to watch this in the replay when they're not live. And so I wanted to try to jump in as quickly as possible, and took about 5 minutes to jump in. But so if you have any questions, put them in the chat right now, and I'll spend some time answering them. And again, no question is a dumb question, because very likely if you have that question, somebody else has that question, okay? So go ahead and type it in. I'm gonna check in a moment. And also share with me how you feel. And again, any questions, absolutely fine. I will do my best to answer them, and I'll probably stay for about 5, most 10 minutes to answer them, okay? All right, so let's see. Okay, so how do you connect deeply in your own practice? Precious B asked that. So Precious B, do you mean like, how do I connect to feel like I'm connecting to other people? Is that what you mean? Like, how do I feel that I'm really connecting into the love and compassion? B, just clarify that a little bit more for me in the chat. I would love to know exactly what you mean. Okay. So Precious B says her question was, how do you connect deeply in your own practice? And then she clarified, actually, guys, pictures are so small. It's really, really hard to see. Like I apologize if I mess up gender or anything. I think that I'm in connecting with source energy, but I always get called to connect more. Absolutely. You can always connect more. I will tell you, I'm glad you asked that question, because I will tell you guys, again, it's hard because I'm leading you and I'm talking and doing it, so I didn't go as deeply. But when I do this practice quietly, on my own, whatever, without lights shining on me and everything, you can literally get to a state, how I always end my videos with stay bliss, stay blessed. You can start to feel a state of bliss. So this is considered a purification practice and a concentration practice. Okay, and I don't want to go off too much detail if you're not interested, but the purification, it's purifying your own heart. So her question about deepening, you can always go deeper. I have a story here. I'm going to take more questions. I may share the story about how we can always deepen that connection, because really God is love. At the root source, it's a love, but it's a love that is like cosmic level love for no matter what's happening. That's a level of love that is almost beyond our human capacity. But yes, welcome. Oh, you're welcome, Andrea. So yeah, you can always connect more. Believe it or not, if you did a retreat where you were being taught Metta, you would literally practice this all day. So at first, it can bring up, and I want to share this. So some of you, maybe you got more angry. That's perfectly normal. Maybe you didn't feel like you could send love to yourself. Again, I don't want to give you the questions. I want to see what came up for you. But it's very common to feel like this is very difficult and you're like, I'm not feeling any love. Okay. So it's okay if you did not feel any love, compassion. That's you keep practicing and you start to be able to generate it. This was very calming. Thank you, Shauna. Really appreciate you. Do you have a question? Did you hit a bump? Because there are a couple of things that usually come up, but I want you to ask me. I don't want to just bring stuff up necessarily. I feel my heart is filled with anger and I feel afraid to send out energy. I don't want it to be destructive. Okay, great. That's a great question. If you're doing this practice and you're just repeating these phrases, you're not going to send out anger. It literally, the teachers say it softens the heart. So you will feel angry. That's very common, but over time and with regular practice, you guys, you're going to start to feel more loving, the loving kindness starting to arise. The idea is that it's not even the idea. Any religion of any, you are made from that source, right? You have that divinity within you. Now, at the highest level, you can do this, but of course, it's covered up by everything we've experienced, the pain, the hurt that we've experienced, and so on. So it's hard to at first emanate out that like spiritual love to everyone. But so at first, it's fine if you feel angry, you just keep practicing it. That's very, very common. Okay? Keep practicing. Is this meditation adapted from the pranic healing twin hearts meditation? No. Hang on one second. Okay. Something always happens when I go live. Last time it was like, I swear it sounded like there was a leak in my space. It wasn't. I had my window open and it was like the drain on the side of the house, and it was just like sounded like it was inside. So I was like, oh my God. While I was live. So no, this is actually an ancient practice, and I don't know, Master Cho Kuk Sui, what's his background, because very likely his meditation may have developed from this. This is, I would say, at least 2,500 years old. It does come from the Buddhist tradition, and the tradition is the Theravada Buddhist tradition, which is the oldest still continuing tradition. I wish I could access my computer, but I can't do it while I'm doing the YouTube live. But it is the oldest tradition. It's said to go back 2,500 years. And so there are monks like teaching unchanged, literally like from the words of the Buddha. And it's just the sort of, it's in countries, you guys, like Vietnam, Thailand, Sri Lanka, those like Southeast Asian countries. So I don't know if he might have, in fact, it might come from that, the Twin Hearts meditation, especially as his name sounds like it could be, Burmese or Vietnamese. So it very likely came out of this tradition. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. Okay. Precious was able to feel so much love. So again, yes, it's a purification of your heart. So even though in the practice we're sending it out to all beings, you're doing it not so much. And this goes to the other question about anger. You're doing it to try to put out more peace in the world, but it's for you to heal you. Because if, and we all know this at a deep level, if we're healed, and we can see it out in the world right now, right? A lot of people are basically psychologically sick, emotionally sick, spiritually sick. So what we're trying to do is heal ourselves, and then we're going to emanate out that peacefulness. And it is said, I'll share this with you. This may be too woo-woo for some of you, but it's said that the more you practice this, the less able there is violence to happen around you, because you are literally emanating at such a high vibration that you affect everything around you to a certain radius, okay? And we all know there are great spiritual beings from various religious traditions that was said that that's what they did. In their presence, people became peaceful. You could, they emanated such peace at such a deep and profound level. They were so tapped into that source energy, which is love, that they emanated it out, okay? So this practice is to develop that level within yourself. Yes, I do actually. Precious, look below this video, not in the chat, because the chat's like going by like fast. I put a link. I'm actually going to be teaching a class. I want to mention it really briefly. I believe it really can be life-changing, and I made the price very reasonable. It's an online course. We're going to meet 6 times, and it's called Mindfulness for Stressful Times. Typically, I don't include this meditation in it, though I might this round. But if you go to my website, intheflowofmagic.com, you'll see it. But there's a link below directly to that page. I'd love to see you in it. Technically, it's open to men and women. It's a group program. Typically, I'm coaching women. And the last time I ran it, we had 8 women in it. We had a woman from the Caribbean, and then everybody else was from the US. So, and I got great reviews. I have their testimonials. I've only put one of the testimonials up out of the ones I got, so I need to do that. But check that out if you'd like to have more mentorship with me, and I do one-on-one coaching. As you define love for yourself, it'll become easier. Okay, great. I was doing your sacral healing practice, and your cat gave me so much life. Right now, if you guys get here, I'm going to try to move this. Okay. All right, hold on here. There, can you see him? He's like, what is she doing? Okay. So I don't know if you could see, and then there was like junk in the back here, but kitty cat, the minute I started doing this meditation, and again, I'm being serious, I'm joking, but I'm being serious. It's kind of proof. Those of you with animals know what I'm saying. The minute I started getting him into that love vibe, what did the cat do? Came right over. And he doesn't do that all the time, just so you know. It's not like he's all the time right by me. But the minute I started talking to you about love and okay, tune in, you heard him. He came up here and you saw his little tail go by, and he sat and his little head is like smushed right in there now because my vibration has changed. So thank you so much. Okay, I'm a woman. I just synchronize my masculine energy, so it's coming through strong. I think that's why you are picking up on that. Ah, that's interesting. I am intuitive. And just when I said your name, I definitely was like female. And then I was like, oh, because like I said, the picture is so small, but it's interesting that I even mentioned, masculine. So you've been working with that. Now on a higher level, and these are sort of more teachings I wouldn't necessarily try to just share in a video. I would share with a small group, but we have our male and a female side. Everybody has that. Men have a female side. They really do, because everything is yin and yang, you guys. And I'm actually very interested in that, but this is like kind of higher level teachings, because some people, it'll just blow their mind. Okay. But that is literally why we have like a left brain, right? This is scientific now. There is a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere, and they handle different things. And one side kind of thinks more intuitive and a little bit like woo woo. The other side's more logical, what we would say more male. And then there's a more female, but that's in everybody, that left brain, right brain. So anyway, some higher stuff. I don't want to get into that now because it'll go off in a direction and like people will be like, what? So thank you so much. And as I'm talking, he's like, oh, she's not in her peaceful space now. She's talking. I'm going to go. So I will do this again next Sunday. You can watch this video again, just, cut into where we started, right, with it. And I will do this again next Sunday. I am also studying shamanism. And so I was told that what I could do to help with healing the planet was to do this. And, I was like, oh, Metta, I'd wanted to do a Metta video, but I was told, do it live, be with you live, and lead it live. So I'm going to do this for the foreseeable future. I will do it again next Sunday. And I'll maybe do it in a slightly different way. This way we did it where it was like a map and we sort of spread out around the world. There are different ways to do it. So I will, practice with me, come back, and we'll do this again together. I just want to say your energy is very powerful. Do not underestimate the effect that you're doing this practice can have, even in your household, on your family, as you now turn me off and you go back to your kids, or you go back to your roommate or your spouse. Do not underestimate the power of this and how you're basically are putting out these vibrations that are going to affect people that need it. Okay. I'm going to close with one question. Nobody asked me, but it's an important thing. And I'm surprised nobody asked me. Because I asked this was when I was first practicing this, because I said all beings. Now, typically people would say, well, even people who are kind of evil or people who are doing harm. Okay, so nobody asked me that question. I was waiting for that question. Yes, the idea is, think about how powerfully peaceful you would have to be that you are able to say, I want everyone. This is not a partisan loving kindness. And, we see this so much conflict in the world. This isn't just these people or the people I like that I can send love to. So this is a practice that is like a Buddha heart, a Christ heart. That heart it's like the sun. The sun shines on everyone, right? Give me a thumbs up if you feel what I'm saying. The sun doesn't discriminate who it shines on. And that is the beautiful metaphor. The sun shines its light out on filth, on cat poop, on dog poop. It shines it on garbage cans. It shines it on the most beautiful tree, the most beautiful being. The sun just shines its light. That is what we're practicing here. So yes, no one asked me this question, but because maybe you understood it. It's irrespective of how the other being is. You're doing this. You are in a lot of ways purifying your own karma. You're purifying your own heart. So it's to you. We're sending the love and kindness, loving kindness, because that's the best translation in English, to all beings. All beings. You're like the sun. You're shining it out. It's sort of up to them. It doesn't mean that you don't see what they're doing, or if something is evil, or, if somebody's a thief or a murderer, you're still sending out, may they be well, may they be happy and peaceful. And if you can imagine, if that level of love were to really hit them, they would change. There are stories in all the spiritual traditions about someone having a breakthrough, an experience where they suddenly realize that their ways were harming people. Someone who maybe killed someone, and they have this transformation. So I've got this sensation as I said that. So when we do this practice of metta, we are sending it to everyone. We don't know. We can't force someone to change. We're not trying to do that. We're purifying our own hearts, and we are sending this out. It's like we're raining down this loving kindness feeling to all beings, all sentient beings, beings that are alive and have awareness. So I'm going to close there. Join me again. I will do this next Sunday. If I'm here on the planet, I will do it very likely at this very same time. I will do it 7 EST, Eastern Time. Okay, so do this practice again with me. So stay blissed, stay blessed, and thank you so much for being here. And it was really fun to do. Live is always, a little bit tricky because you never know what's going to happen, while you're like filming. That's why broadcast, they don't even do live. So I really appreciate you. Mwah, much love. And I hope this really helped. One favor you could do for me, not in the chat, but below the video, if you could just write a comment or give the video a thumbs up. I have right now, I have like 19 thumbs up. It helps YouTube to put the video out. When they see that people comment, again, not in the chat, but underneath the video on YouTube, in the comment section there, if you put a comment, thank you, this was great, whatever, YouTube is like, oh, people enjoyed this video. Okay. All right. She got this many. Okay. Let me show it to a few more people. And so you'll help more people to see it. All right. So have a beautiful week. Stay safe and stay blissed and blessed. And you are here for a reason. You're here on purpose. And I just really hope you put that purpose out into the world. All right, my loves. Bye-bye.